Gotta figure out this doggone holder real quick. Ah. Yep, there we go. Alrighty. So today I'm going to be changing out the thermostat on this old POS Ford. So, like a year ago, it overheated pretty bad, and I went and flushed the whole system, put new antifreeze in, and we were good to go. And then the other day, it did it again. So I imagine it's very possible the thermostat has gotten stuck shut. I thought at first maybe it was a blown head gasket because it wants to boil over, but if you leave the cap off, and that could be a water pump issue as well, but if you leave the cap off, it doesn't overheat, but it does purge a bunch of fluid out while you're driving. But I filled it to the top and I let it idle for like an hour, and it never overheated and it never purged. So I'd have to say the mud water colored antifreeze that's in there is probably the reason. So I'm going to change it and see what happens. Got to remember where I put my thermostat at anyways. Somewhere in here. I bet you it's on the passenger side. Try to adjust this a little better so y'all can see. There we go. All right, it's a little teeny box somewhere. Oh, there it is. Thermostat. I wonder if it came with a gasket. Nope. So we'll probably have to put a little RTV on there. All right, let's get this started. I meant to do this yesterday, but it rained pretty much all day. It said it was supposed to rain for like an hour, and that was not what happened. I go to O'Reilly so much they consider me a commercial customer, so they gave me a little magnetic bolt tray. And get you guys up here. All right, so this hood is a little sacked out, so I got to use vice grips to hold it up. Or it wants to fall like that. This was my first truck. I bought this thing in 2008, I think it was. Damn. Might need to get a different pair of pliers. So I had this friend a long time ago. This is how long this has been going on. This was in 2013. And I needed a jump start. And it was a really windy day. And the hood would kind of stay up on its own at that point. It won't now, but it would kind of stay up. And this corner right here came flying down because the wind caught it, hit him right in the side of the head. And I know it wasn't funny, but I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, he just got pretty much knocked the hell out. And I'm laughing my ass off. His brother's like, it's not funny, he's hurt. And I'm like, I know, but I can't help it. So it's a pretty shitty day because the battery was dead and it was in the middle of a nor'easter, which is like a cold weather hurricane. And cool stuff. But it's not magnetic on the bottom, which is kind of weird. But whatever. So yeah, I kept having to get jump starts because if I even came to a stop, the truck would shut off. But yeah, this should be easy. This is the thermostat right here. You can see along here, it cracked. You might be able to see, but it got so swollen from being overheated. It cracked the actual reservoir. So that's going to be another fix on this truck I got to do. And I might be replacing the water pump if this doesn't fix it. As I said, I'm pretty sure it didn't blow a head gasket, but it's running good and I'm not seeing any bubbles coming out of the antifreeze. It's just boiling over essentially. Gotta grab another pair of pliers, pull this hose off. Garage is a bit of a mess, but that's about the change. I just got to get done with working on the house. I built this garage last year because some jackass decided he wanted to burn down my garage because he wanted to be, essentially he was a bully, older dude, 65 years old, married an 18-year-old special needs girl, just to show you how demented this person was, and had children with her. But anyways, he knew that he was going to jail for stalking and doing some really nasty stuff in front of my sisters. And he knew he was going to jail. That house right there was vacant, and he lived across the street from that house. So he came over with a bucket of fuel, threw it over the fence, burned my garage down, and waited till, you know, almost midnight on a Saturday to do it. So yeah, and then the insurance only paid out about a third of the damages, and then they dropped me, and the new insurance is almost 4 times what it used to be on the homeowner's insurance. But anyway, he's happily tucked away in jail. He also got caught before all this, right after all of this, after he got out of jail. He abducted some lady and did some pretty terrible things. So I rebuilt the garage last year, and I've been residing the house, and because it caught the house on fire partially too. Let me get up there. All right. The truck just has enough lift to be a pain in the ass to work on. Oh boy. All right, hopefully you guys can see. I'm hoping these will squeeze it enough. I don't know where the rest of my pliers went. Probably left them at the shop. Okay, good stuff. I might not need to pull this hose off actually, so let's see. I tried to take this off once before, a couple of years ago, and I think I'm going to need a mallet or something to beat the hell out of it because it's pretty stuck on there. So it's definitely a 10 millimeter. I figured if I get purple 10 millimeters, it won't be so easy to lose. So far, it's been working. Oh, yeah. My little O'Reilly's tool tray. Yes, that's still really stuck on there. So I'm gonna try whacking it. Wow. Well, that's on there. Are you shitting me? Starting to wonder if it's not part of the manifold itself. No, there's a little seam right there. Should be. Kind of looks like it. Nah, it can't be that hard to change. But it is a Ford, so it might be that hard to change. I mean, there's literally... Hold on a second. Come on now. I literally see a seam. Yeah, it's just really stuck on there. Okay. Damn. And I don't want to beat this with a real hammer because I don't know what kind of metal this is made out of. And knowing Ford, they use the cheapest of the cheap aluminum or pot metal. So, like I've definitely changed thermostats on Tritons before. Don't remember them being this difficult to get off. I'm hoping some genius didn't put JB Weld in there. I've seen weirder things. Nope, that would be almost make too much sense. But let me go get an actual hammer. Whack on it a couple more times, I guess. All right, so the hose is finally coming loose. That's good. All right. There it goes. I saw it move. This mallet sucks. Oh, man. Ah, come on. Wonder if I can get these up here. Get some leverage on it. Maybe. Trying to be real careful not to mess stuff up here. And it's not gonna give me that option. Oh yeah, so she cracked open. That's a start. I was worried I was gonna have to pull this whole intake manifold off because some of these Tritons are really put together stupid. And I've seen it where to change a simple gasket for the thermostat, you gotta pull the whole manifold. Means all your fuel injection has to come out, like everything. So, like, why make a 10-minute job easy? They turn it into like a 6-hour job. So I'm gonna get a real hammer out. And hopefully we won't have any problems. Hi, Mr. Clyde. Hi, puppy dog. Hi, puppy dog. So that should be heavy enough. I was actually kind of pissed off after the fire because I thought this got burned up. This is like an old pipe fitter brass hammer. It's brass so you don't make sparks when you're hitting. It's for working on, like, you know, gas lines, things like that. But I always like this hammer. Just trying to... Well, that's cool. We'll have to find that. That's like a 8-inch socket extension that I just dropped. And I didn't hear it hit the ground. Come on. I mean, it's loose. There we go. I think it's moving. I don't know if it's moving the right direction now. Come on, damn it. I mean, see the fluid coming out. It's really on there. There you go. Yeah, look at that rust water, man. Oh, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I'd say the thermostat. the thermostat that's stuck, and it's filling my fucking spark plug holes. That's fine. Damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the air hose out, because this happened before, where this hose had blown off because the truck overheated, and it filled the number 1 cylinder and the number 2 cylinder up with antifreeze. So I had to pull the coils, blow the holes out. I actually had to replace the coils. Yeah, something tells me that that little weep hole is all that's been giving it any coolant. So that's not really good. Oh my gosh, that thing is rusted in there. I've never seen a thermostat get stuck like that. But I'd say, judging by the amount of rust in there, that's probably the culprit. Because whoever had this truck before me, I came to find out shortly after purchasing it that they had filled it up with water. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say that was a problem. Well, it's getting clean. Pushed all the rust out. So I'd say, yeah, this thing's probably been plugged up for quite some time, judging by the chunks that came out when I pulled the thermostat off. Just a wild guess. I don't feel anything crazy in there. There's no missing gaskets that I can tell, other than the O-ring right here, which I feel like the new thermostat should have come with one. But it's nothing that a little RTV can't fix. Maybe. Yeah, it'll be all right. Just gonna put that back on top of the thermostat, I think, and we'll just hope that it doesn't leak. All right, let's see what this one does. Oh, yeah. It ain't quite as easy as this one. This one's nice and smooth. This one is like I'm breaking it free, but at first it was froze up. But you hear all that where it's sticking. And I'd say that could be the culprit, because this one's not doing any of that. All right. I'd say it's set just like that, since there's pissing out that little part right there. All right. And you guys think I should throw some RTV on this? I mean, I don't know what it would hurt, but see if we even need it. Because I think this gasket's pretty chewed up, if I had to take a wild guess. And I think it's supposed to sit over it like so. So I think we're all right. Ah, come on. But it also has a shape like it seats like that. So I think it just sits right there. Really weird. Yeah, so I'm with you, was it Milky Way Gaming? There you go. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to try to see if it works. The worst part's over. Well, I also don't really want to have this whole top of my engine flooded again. So let me see what I can do here, because this thing's pretty hammered. I'm sure it just sits like that. I'm sure if the O-ring was new, it would actually sit like it's supposed to, and you'd know where it goes. But I mean, it really seems like it should just seat like this. Makes the most sense, but it doesn't seem like it's ever sat that way. It also is kind of worn. Yeah, it's worn to sit like this. So, oh well. If I get the damn thing to stay put, I just put it back on there. Probably shouldn't have peeled it off. It was rather laminated or adhered to it. right. See what I can do. Gosh, come on. Man, remind me to buy a new tube of RTV. This thing's about shot. I've used it so much. I used it the other day on that diff, so there's like really not much left, but figure I can get this out of here and I'll just start away and buy a new one. Got to find something to kind of, because that's not as easy to tear as I thought. I had a tube of this stuff the other day. I was squeezing it so hard it blew out the back of it. That made a hell of a mess. All right, so I'm gonna get a screwdriver to dig that out. Well, actually, I'm gonna call O'Reilly's real quick, see if they've got another O-ring. Let's see what they say. I think it's 722. Let's see. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Let's see what their number is. 722-5979. I was close.
Thanks for calling O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is Hunter. How can I help you?
Hey man, I have that 99 F250 with the 5.4 Triton. I was trying to find a O-ring for the thermostat housing.
Should be easy enough to find. Let's see.
You think they'd give you a new one?
Super Duty or just regular?
Yeah, it's Super Duty. That's the 5.4 Triton. You'd think they'd throw a new one in the box with the thermostat.
Yeah, some of them come with them, some of them don't. I don't know why they don't all just have them, but...
Yeah.
I got one for $2.99.
Okay, not bad. Cool. I'll be up there in a few minutes.
All right, no problem.
All right, dude. Bye. All right, let's go to O'Reilly's. I'll put my impact out of the way, just so no one thinks that's something to borrow. We do live in not the, ooh, that's a stupid idea. Not the most honest city, so. All right, let's do it. I gotta figure out how to get this thing to stop bouncing when I'm walking. This truck's been really good so far. It's got an airbag light. I've had to do a few things. I think I've got a bearing going out though, in the maybe the rear hub bearing. I'm not sure. It's got this kind of droning noise when you go down the road. I just changed that diff fluid last week. It was clean. There was nothing wrong with it. So I think it's something simple like that. Not bad for the first start of the day. Strange with this truck is when it's cold, it starts right up. When it's hot, it has kind of a delayed start, and it reminds me of a IPR being the O-rings when the IPRs are going bad on the old 7.3s. And I haven't looked into this one enough to know if it had. I think it has all the same stuff. The weather's, it says it's 64, so yeah. It's kind of like too hot to wear a overshirt when you're sitting in the truck. It's kind of chilly when you're just standing out there, especially being close to the water. So it's easy to kind of find yourself overheating one minute and freezing the next. I'd rather be cold than hot, so I'll put a 5-inch exhaust on this eventually. So eventually, when I make YouTube money, I will be sharing a video at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. You know, how many views we got, how many subscribers over this year. and how much we made. I mean, I really don't make much on YouTube. Like, I'm still, you know, small channel, but, you know, I was pretty surprised because everybody said, oh, for every view you make, every time somebody sees a commercial, you're making like 50 cents. And I'm like, well, hot damn. And that's just not the case. You might make like a half a cent. Hopefully you guys can see all right. Either way. So I'll get this little O-ring straightened out and put her back together. So at least I live pretty close to the auto parts store. This is kind of one of those auto parts stores, though. You want to make sure you have a gun or a large group of people if you go here at night. It's pretty rough. Across the street is like the Crystal Palace from the show Breaking Bad. It's just a bunch of junkies, man, and like it's just really bad. That's where that guy that burned my garage down, he when he went on the run, he stayed there, and it's just like notorious, you know, for all that crap. But yeah, that dude, he got charged with abduction, every kind of sexual offense you could think of. All felonies, of course. He got charged with Schedule 1 and 2 possession of narcotics. And he already had 5 years over his head for the stalking. He only served like 6 months of that 5 years. And so he was supposed to be on probation and behaving for the stalking and violations of the protective orders. So I don't think he'll ever get out of prison again. I think he's going to die in prison, and I'm okay with that. You know, you do a bunch of sexual crimes, and you know, you harass my sisters and probably God knows how many other women, and you just keep messing with people. You know, it's going to come and bite you in the ass, and that's just how it goes. So I'm just surprised he got away with it so long. Like, because everybody knew what he was doing. But that's Hampton for you. Out here, man, if I do something stupid, little stupid stuff, kind of like Cody was talking about on Whistling Diesel, like, you know, you got people running around that are really bad people, and they're out of jail constantly. And they arrest him for tax evasion over some bogus stuff from an out-of-state. This is, you know, Whistling Diesel for out-of-state, because he actually owns a business out-of-state, which his cars are registered with, but the state of Tennessee wants their piece of the money, and it's like he doesn't own the vehicles in Tennessee, and, you know, none of that made any sense. Like, if that was the case, like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, U-Haul, all those companies would be in the same trouble because they register their vehicles in Arizona, Wyoming, you know, places like that, so they don't have to pay sales taxes. And how come they're not in trouble? So it's like Cody said, he thinks they're just trying to make an example of him to try to scare the car community. But it seems like everything they try to do, that man backfires tenfold. So I've got to put a relay, it goes behind this, into this truck so I can put my LED turn signals back in. And I mean, I think the LED turn signals, they serve a purpose, not for the front of the vehicle so much, but for the rear. Because just in this intersection that I'm just going through, I had somebody claim they didn't see me, and they were in the right turn lane, and I was going straight. It was the first day I bought this truck. They were in the right turn lane, and I was going straight. And as soon as I passed them, well, I had a trailer behind me. It's a big dump trailer. And they just didn't, they assumed that it wasn't, you know, nothing was behind me. So she went to get over, and because she wanted to change lanes in the intersection, which, you know, is totally fine and legal, of course. Just kidding. But wanted to change lanes in the intersection. So as soon as she saw my truck pass, she got over. And I ran her car over with my trailer. And, you know, it's a big trailer. And I knew something happened. And I wasn't really sure because I couldn't see her car. I knew I passed her, but I thought she was going to take a right. But I thought something happened. So I started slowing down, and she gets next to me blowing the horn and cussing me out. And you just hit me. And I was thinking, you know, I've got no inspection on the trailer, no inspection on the truck. I don't even have tags on the truck yet, or at the time, you know. And I thought, you know, I'm cooked. They're not going to believe, you know, me over her. And she kept screaming, you know, pull up the traffic cam, pull up the traffic cam. So they did. And they showed that she merged and hit me. So that was actually one of the most fair encounters I've had pulling trailers and stuff, because they always try to blame the guy pulling the trailer, especially, you know, when you have a business, and a lot of people target stuff like that. So wonder how they're going to react to me with a camera. Anyway, I'm here for that O-ring for the thermostat. Yep, cool. Appreciate you.
Let's pull that up.
Perfect. It doesn't even come in a bag.
Well, it does. It's 10. you want all 8 or whatever?
No, I don't.
Phone number on it?
757 323 0464.
That on there. 317 after tax.
All right.
Not bad for a crappy plastic O-ring.
No. Alrighty, I appreciate you.
Yep, no problem.
Now that everybody has my phone number and my credit card. No. Anyway, man, you have a great day. Have a good one, man. That looks a little better than the last one. I'm guessing people are just getting used to seeing this kind of stuff. For me, like the town I live in, there's not a lot of people that I've ever seen doing this, except for like some kayakers and stuff like that, and they're pretty cool. But they're like off on their own. They're not, you know, they're not, what's that word? Talking to people, you know, whatever. But let's make sure it's the same size. I meant to bring it in. Oh yeah, I'd say it was probably like that at one time. So, all right, let's go do it. I turned the radio on, but they probably, since I'm monetized, they don't want me doing that whole copyright thing. I don't know what you guys listen to, but I listen to about everything. I don't pick artists and I don't pick genres. I pick songs I like, and it can go all the way from classical to Tech Nine to, you know, The Offspring. I'm just, you know, all over the place. Oh, it's always funny. So many people don't hand me the, don't let me DJ, you know, if we're on a car trip or something. They're just like, dude, this guy's, you know, can't make up his mind. But anyway, it's okay. My dad had a friend a long time ago. Oh, great turn signal, dick. Anyways, Dad had a friend a long time ago, and he was a biker, he was a mechanic, he was a Muslim, and he played the bagpipes. Super cool guy. But it was like, what? Wait a minute, what? It was cool. Anyway, get back to the house, get this thing in. I'm gonna go find some breakfast. I wish I could respond to all you guys commenting, and I will as soon as I get done with what I'm doing. But I have this, it's like, you know, kind of like GoPro type deal, so I can't really read them. I know a lot of y'all are because I'm getting notifications, but it's not as easy as being stationary. Yeah, I got to figure something out better for this truck, so Gives y'all a better vantage point. I figure off the mirror would be the best way, but I can't get this thing to not swing like a damn pendulum the whole time I'm going down the road. Oh, what are you doing, bud? This is that curve I was on one day, and there was this like 5-year-old boy walking around with no shoes on in the wintertime. And he had this like 10-year-old girl walking with him, and they're right in the damn road, like in the middle of the road. And I started slowing down, and they stepped into the oncoming, and the boy whipped like a Budweiser bottle at my truck. And that was crazy. So I like kind of chased him down. I was like, "Where's your parents at?" And they're like, "Oh, why? Did something happen?" Man, those kids, man. I was like, God, when I was that age, first I wasn't allowed out of the yard like that ever. And then second, man, like, if my parents heard anything about me whipping bottles at somebody, that would have been a wrap. I got caught smoking when I was like 13, and I think it was the first day of summer, and I didn't get ungrounded till like September. But anyway, wow, that's cool as shit looking. Hopefully y'all saw that. It's like the most yellow tree. So autumn's kind of weird on the water out here because we'll get these cold fronts where it just wipes out all the leaves before they even get a chance to change. And then some of the trees do change, but it's not real pretty like if you're going, you know, in the mountains or anything like that. It's just kind of, I think drab would be the word. That was a house I used to own right there on the corner. It was built in like 1916. That was the second place I lived. Kind of rough neighborhood out here, guys. It's a little better than it used to be, kind of. But not by much. My first day here, I was like 11. And this group of teenagers, they're like 14, 15. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Whatever. And one of them, he just wanted to show off to his friends. And he started, you know, like pushing me around stuff. And then he ended up punching me so hard in the face, it broke my cheekbone. I had a concussion. And he was like, you know, twice my size. I was 11 years old. It was crazy. So first day living here. So it's different. It's a different place for sure. Seen a lot of crazy stuff out here over the years. Problem is like you've got the waterfront, which seems to attract, you know, higher quality people, and then you got a lot of this out here is just run down. It's not like modernized at all. And like you used to just, I mean, you still today you'll see, I mean, drug deals everywhere. You know, prostitution's big, so and they don't hide it, man. They're just out in the open doing it, and got like the most homeless people I've ever seen, other than probably if you go to California or something. They got like whole, you know, I'm thinking about getting out of here because I every 2 nights, man, somebody's in my driveway trying to get in my trucks and trying to steal stuff. I've had dirt bikes stolen out here. You know, it's just locked up in my garage, man. And came home one day, there was 2 people sitting on my couch. They'd taken everything I owned and had piled it up in the living room, and were sitting on the couch just waiting for me to come home. And they were literally out on bail from doing the same thing a week earlier. And what they did is they waited for the person to come home and beat the hell out of them and took their car and all their stuff. Except for they didn't know I carry. So anyway, and then they just got probation and had to go, like literally all they got in trouble for when they broke into mine is they had to go on probation and then go to a shrink or psychiatrist or some bullshit. And these were 2 grown married men. Don't know how the hell that happens. How is this supposed to go on there? Very strange. I guess, hey, look, I'm going to just assume it goes like that. because there's no other way I foresee it working. And we're just going to put it back together. Fuck it. Maybe the gasket on the other one was in the wrong spot over the years. Maybe when I pulled it off, it scooted it down. I don't know. We're going to find out if it leaks, though. Because I'm about over this truck. It's going to run like shit now that it's got all that antifreeze down in the coils. Were these bolts the same? Yeah, they were the same length, I think. Damn, this thing is not nice to the knees. I need a topside creeper like no one's business. Okay, let's put this thing on like super low. Oh, there we go. Yeah, hopefully, guys, man, if y'all like this stuff, just like and subscribe. I'm trying to save enough money, like, so I get the hell out of here one day. And that does help us a lot. And times are tough for everybody, and it costs y'all nothing to subscribe, but I got to make some money somehow. I mean, I work still, like every day, but it's just things got expensive in the last 5 years for some reason. Our materials, our pickets used to be 50 cents a piece. Now they're $2.84 a piece, and we haven't been able to raise our price per foot because we got so many crackheads out here offering to do it for half. And no matter how much you tell people, you get what you pay for. They don't listen. So, okay, so I'm hoping I didn't do something wrong here. I think it's just I don't have the vice grips tight enough. Oh, yeah, that felt good. Struck a nerve in my hand or something. Like right in the palm of your hand. Like, I guess there's a joint or something like right here. I don't know. Like, it didn't feel too good. Come on, damn it. Get on there. Wow. What a piece of shit. Okay, so, and to be honest, like, this body cam I've got on is not too bad, but it makes even this kind of dexterity harder because I'm having to reach around, and it's just kind of different, and I've got to be in a position so y'all can see, so it does make things a little harder. That's better. Get your ass on there. All right, so let's... I got a friend, he's a Cummins mechanic, and he's like, you don't ever use impact wrenches to put stuff like this back on. Well, watch me. I think that's got it. We're going to find out. I got to bleed the system. But this thing's going to run like shit. I'll probably be putting a couple new coils in it by the end of the day. I think I have a spare in the truck right now, actually. Or I might have already used it. I just keep a couple spare coils because every time it rains, it seems these trucks get a misfire. Hey, that's not too bad. Wait till it gets warm, though. All right, so I got to put some antifreeze back in this thing. I'm hoping I did that thermostat right. We'll find out. Hey, that feels a lot better. Before it had like zero pressure in it, which was a little concerning. Which would tell me that thermostat was clogged as shit. I get some antifreeze. It's undiluted, but I feel like we earned the ability to pour a whole gallon and then just top it off with whatever water I got floating around. They say you should use, like, I think they said distilled water, which might be the reason, because I use like tap water and spring water, stuff like that, but it might be a reason it's a little rusty in there. But good old O'Reilly's. So, and this truck, because it's a 6.0, you're supposed to really baby the coolant system on this truck, so I'm going to end up flushing it. I have a coolant filter. It looks just like an oil filter, and don't worry, I don't think that's head gasket stuff going on. It might be, though. But I got to change the fluid on that truck, and I put a new filter on, and that filter was like caked with rust. It was just disgusting. So I think it's best just to do it as a preventative every so often. They said every like 20 or 50,000. I can't remember which one it was. Mind you, I mean, that's the Chesapeake Bay right there. So, I mean, this stuff gets, sent straight out there if I spill it. So I try not to, but I always dilute the shit out of it because I'd hate for like a small animal or something to try to drink it. It'd be a bad reaction. I think they actually started putting like a bittering agent into the antifreeze so like cats and stuff don't mess with it. There was a bunch of jackasses back in the day that would put it out intentionally to, kill all the wild cats off, and that's a terrible way to go, man. Oh shit, yeah, so I'm gonna be getting the garden hose now. I just spilled like a cup on the ground. It sounds like it's running good. I need to get that pipe. It rusted off. It used to be real nice and come out right here, and it rusted the hell off. Let me pull it off, show you guys. So it rusted off, so I gotta just replace it. I think the cat's clogs. This thing used to be real hollow sounding, and now it sounds kind of like it's running through some kind of insulation, kind of like a glass pack, and it never sounded like that. Everybody said the truck sounded like a Mustang. Now it kind of sounds like not a Mustang. What's really weird though is that Bronco that I'm trying to figure out what the hell was. I just had the transmission rebuilt and it was still shifting bad. So I think the digital cluster is not communicating with the speed sensor, causing issues. So I'm gonna send that out to like auto computer specialist or somebody who can diagnose and repair the board. I've put so much time and effort into that Bronco for it to keep just leaving me stranded. I mean, I put all new brakes, front, rear, all new brake lines, everything, and something happened. I guess it sat a lot, and it just because it sat for like a year before I got it roadworthy. So I think the brakes rusted back up and warped the rotors. Boy, something smells like burning out here. Well, I don't think it's the truck. So we got fluid in the reservoir, so it's in there. And I don't remember that O-ring hanging out like that on the thermostat housing. But hey, who am I to assume that it was put together right the first time anyway? We're gonna find out though. I'll be keeping an eye on it. If it starts leaking, then I'll know I did something wrong. Oh well. Yeah, I really don't know if that's the right way to do it. Like, it doesn't look right, but like that O-ring right there, I don't remember seeing it like that, and it might be because they had tightened it down so much that it was flat. But if it starts leaking, then I guess I'll be just making another trip to get another O-ring, and I would watch a YouTube video. Actually, I got my other phone. I can watch a YouTube video. Let's see. 5.4 Triton. Thermostat. Replacement. Okay. This is like the Matrix or Inception. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh Lord, taking the battery off to change the thermostat. I'm not gonna say anything bad, bro. Like, maybe you were doing something else, but I'm not watching that. I'll watch the O-ring part though. Let's get into the shade. Okay, here we go. You're real thorough, bud. Oh. Yeah, well, if it didn't have like a swamp on top of the thermostat, I would have been able to see that, right? Well, I know what we're doing. I'm shutting the truck off, and I'm gonna fucking make a giant mess of antifreeze in the road. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think what I am gonna do is shut it off before it gets any warmer. And I'll just drain some antifreeze out of the radiator. Lord, I knew I did something wrong. I had the strangest feeling too. But I bet it's flowing just nice because the thermostat's not seated down like it should be. Yeah. All right. I gotta find a clean bucket. I have one of those. So that's what I get for not watching a YouTube video before doing something. Oh, perfect. So I don't have gutters on the house right now. So I use this bucket so it doesn't beat the shit out of the GFI there for one. But it also runs into the basement some. Oh boy. Oh yeah, fill my shoes. All right. Yeah, that'll be fine. It'll fit under the truck. Oh yeah. My neighbors love me. Now that I got the road nice and wet. Oh geez. Brand new pants. Come on. I need to clean the floor mats anyways. All right. There's a pet cock under here. Ah, there it is. Come on, baby. There you go. Oh, yeah. Look at that shit. Oh, my gosh. I might just be buying more antifreeze. That's some nasty stuff. Nasty stuff, man. Oh, yeah. And I just flushed this thing recently, too. That's wild. Whew. All right. I'll let that drain for a second. I can make the easiest job take hours. And it's just little stupid shit like this. Hopefully I haven't ruined this O-ring or I'll be going to buy another one. But I didn't tighten it down very much. I had a feeling something wasn't right. I didn't want to fully commit. Oh. Yeah, see, it's not very tight. There we go. It's not as bad as the last time I took it off because I'm assuming the drain is pulling water away instead of, you know, the other way around. But anyway. Okay. Let's get you guys back up here. There we go. This should go relatively easy. Oh, yeah. Let's see what the O-ring looks like. Well, that ain't bad. It'll be fine. It's a little warmer now. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a little stretched compared to what it was, but I think it's going to be just fine. And I don't know how they're expecting the rest of this to seal. I guess this just sits down in there. Yeah, okay. So there's no need for all that other stuff. I'm not a big thermostat changing guy. I'm more like the everything else that could be wrong with the Ford guy. I had a F350 same year with the V10 Triton, and it never gave me problem one for 300,000 miles. The fuel pump went bad, and I had some genius friend trying to start it because it was so quiet and burn the flywheel up on it. But that wasn't the truck's fault. That was idiots that don't pay attention's fault. All right, let's see what we get now. I hope I've done this right. We'll find out in due course. I can stop draining that antifreeze now. That'd be a good start. I don't think I have a big funnel, but I could siphon it back in. That's still just mud water at this point. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, at least I'm getting the sediment down to the bottom. That's the important part. It's still kind of green, I think. Oh yeah. Funnel. I have a big funnel somewhere. And I have a feeling that I keep taking stuff back to the shop, but I can make a funnel. It's not that hard. Trust me. Unused piss jug. Cool. I was beginning to worry for a second. It might have been. Still probably would have used it. So this will work just fine. It's clean, mostly. All right, knife. There we go. I hate this knife, not because of anything it's done, but it's dull and I need to sharpen it. Because I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, but a dull knife is a hell of a lot more dangerous than a sharp knife. Exhibit A. Because if I had a razor blade, I'd have been through this and I wouldn't be using a lot of force and slipping and doing random stuff. That's good enough. This is an old beater truck. Yeah, what's up? Yeah. Come on. Get in there. It's a damn shame my sister's camera shy. She could be helping me right now. Oh, yeah. This ain't too bad. I mean, it's mud water, but... This is going to look like that after I run it with fresh fluid anyways. Because I just changed this fluid like 6,000 miles ago. And I flushed out like 100 plus gallons of water through the system until it came out clear. Oh. Bitch. I got overzealous. It filled up too quick. It's slowly going down now. Well, I can start her up. Get that thermostat to open and close a few times. Put some more fluid in. Ah, fuck. At least that didn't go down in the fan. So much easier when I first started doing it. I think the wind is catching it. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're getting fuller. Almost to the top. Let it settle back down. Who am I? I don't know. Who are you? And it does look terrible. I totally pointed that out. Yeah, oil and rust in there. Yeah, it might be oil. I don't know. Could be rust. Important thing is in there. That's what matters to me. This truck, man, I'm not too worried about making sure it gets everything perfect. As long as it runs, serves as a backup truck, I'm cool. I'm gonna leave that last little bit out though. Oh shit, there wasn't any left to put in there anyway. Gotta hose the road off again, because I made a little mess. I gotta get my floor mat. Put that back in. Name of the channel is Doing It with Charlie. If you can't figure out my name from there, then I can't help you. I'm called Todd. Okay. That's a new one. I had a really bad concussion once. I thought my name was Brian for a couple days. Yeah, I mean, this thing's been found on the road dead quite a few times, but it keeps coming back to life, and I paid $3 grand for it, like 17 years ago. So it's done me pretty good. That little weird noise I'm hearing out of the belt, you hear that? I think that's the water pump starting to seize up, because it's been doing that for some time now. Right around the time it started overheating. So water pump's probably next on this thing. At least I got pressure. I can actually feel fluid in here now. So that tells me that the thermostat was certainly a problem at some point. So we got that going for us. Oh yeah. Got to make sure the neighbors have a reason to hate me. And, you know, I just don't like people hate me for no other reason than they don't like me. So got to give them a reason. Don't you like my cruise control? It's optional on this truck, obviously. Damn it, get on there. Ah! There you go. There's my cruise control. Good to go. Yeah, I agree. Ford beats the newer Chevys, that's for sure. I had a GMC 2500 and it was a giant piece of shit. That's for sure. Alright, so now y'all can see what I've been dealing with. Take this crap off. I'll go through the comments. Mug Tabata. Yeah, hi back to you, man. I'm doing good, Clancy. Alright. But old? Yeah, it's old. It's a 99. Oh man, you were born in 2014? 2013? Jeez. I feel... I'm like 30, so... God. Keep like... Some of these people are grown already, man. But... It's the combobulator. Blinker fluid. Now, that was a problem last week. This thing... We'll get into that another day. Yeah, check the carburetor. God, this thing stinks. I think it's got rats living in it. It fucking stinks. Hit it with your purse. I left it in the house, man. It's a Gucci. I don't want to mess it up. Legendary Ford motors always been on duty coolant, but never anything else. Yeah, I mean, I've seen them where they run out of oil. I've never actually really seen these 5.4s overheat, but it's something new I learned about it today. Yeah, the spark plugs. Yeah, I've actually had to go and it's a Calvan toolkit and retap threads in the head several times on this truck. They shoot spark plugs. Yeah, Steven, I wish I'd read that comment before I put it all back together. No, it's a 5.4, not a 7.3. I wish it was a 7.3. I always wanted the 7.3 or 5.9, and to be honest, I'd rather 5.9 swap this. 7.3s are a bitch to work on. As far as like oil coolers, things like that. Camera security system that alerts my phone. I do have one, but at 3 in the morning when I'm passed out, I don't always wake up. I am in VA, the land of, yeah, kind of the most gutless diesel ever made. Gay truck. It's not a gay truck, guys. So, Richard Taylor. I'll put that sticker on there just for you. All right, so I mean, if you don't think I'm white trash, then, you know, you obviously don't know me enough. I installed the thermostat upside down. I put it in how the old one came out. The old one was like this. Maybe the truck was upside down. I don't know, but I don't really know. I just put things back how I find them. It's been like that for the last 180,000 miles, so I think we're good. Oil cooler. This truck don't have an oil cooler. It's a gasser. If it was a 7.3 or a 6.0, yeah, I would have already sold this thing after I poured a bunch of K-Seal in it. And keep using rusty water, you'll need a water pump. Yeah, I agree. It's not rusty water though. It's I just flushed the whole system. I poured a flush through it. It came out clear. We were good to go. But if y'all like this, definitely subscribe. I'll be posting more. And hopefully not on this truck because I hate working on this truck, but I got to do the grill on that one. I got to put new hubs on the wheels. I got to check and see what that wheel bearing or whatever that noise is. It could be a bad belt in the tire, but the problem is I hear it at really slow speeds, which typically tires don't make sounds at 5 miles an hour. So it's a little concerning. I'm gonna let this thing bleed for a while because the last time I did this, I had a bunch of air in the system still, and I put the cap on, and you could hear the bubbles going through the heater core constantly when you're going down the road, and it got a little annoying. I had a Cadillac that did the same thing, brand new car, and the dealer's like, oh, that's normal. No, they didn't want to take the time to bleed it like they're supposed to. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back. Y'all have a good Sunday. I'm gonna go throw a brisket on the smoker. I might post a little video on that later. And trying to get all the junk food out of the house before Thanksgiving, because after that I gotta start eating better. Been kind of slacking lately. But anyway, y'all have fun, enjoy your day, and hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks. Oh, and I'll show you the truck did quit smoking, so I'll give it a little rev for you guys. It doesn't sound too bad. Everybody says it sounds like shit, but it don't sound too bad. Sounds better when the catalytic converter's not clogged all the shit. Yeah, those 7.3s, you get some miles on them, man. I got a Andy. I got a 7.3. I paid $400 for. Truck was mint. I have videos I posted of it a couple of years last year. Like last July 4th, I posted a video of it. I had a 5-inch exhaust, but the truck, it had 250,000 miles, I think, and it was like mint. I mean, it had fresh paint job on it. The body work was done. It was really nice truck. And the guy just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I ended up putting a fast fuel system on it. I got rid of the mechanical lift pump. It was a ZF5 transmission, single cab, red interior, red exterior. I kind of wanted to keep it till Christmas time, because I was going to put a Christmas tree in the back, get the picture. But it was a 96. I wish I'd kept the truck, but I paid like $400 or $500 or something like that for it. I put like $2,000 in work into it, and it really didn't need the other work. I just put a wiring harness, exhaust system, new battery cables, new batteries, and new fuel system. And that thing was like mint, and I sold it for almost 10 G's. Like, I put it up for sale for like $14,000. I never in a million years thought anybody would give me an offer, but I was like, let me just see what I can get for it. And this dude's like, would you take $9,600? I was like, fuck yeah, I will. And then like a week later, he was a family man. He had like kids and a wife and stuff. Super nice guy, but he had like a crew cab Chevy Silverado that he sold to buy this truck. And so like a week later, he called me and he's like, hey man, you want this truck back? I'll give it to you for $5,000. And I'm like, why? And he's like, and I should have grabbed it. I would have made some money, and then I could have sold it again. Would have been a smart move on my part. I just had a lot going on at the time. But he's like, yeah, the wife doesn't like that because, I can't, haul them and the kids. And I was like, oh, yeah, it only has 3 seats. Probably not a good idea. So, but people impulsively buy things. I've done it. I bought that truck. I paid more than I should have, but it has a brand new engine from Ford in there, not like Jasper. It's an actual Ford remanufactured International, and brand new. It's got 20,000 miles on it. It's had a lot of other work done to it. So the engine, I have the receipt for it, was like $22,000, and I paid $18 for the truck. So the guy literally just had all this work done. He owns a huge petroleum company out here, so it wasn't anything to him. He probably just did it all for a tax write-off, but it had some problems because it sat for 2 years. Like the front rotors, not rotors, the front calipers were frozen. But I put new badges on here. Yes, well, been putting them on when I feel like it because the adhesive is real stuck on these. I put new headlights on it. I ordered a new grill because it's starting to bubble up and it just doesn't look too good. And I mean, I got rid of all my other toys. Just want one solid vehicle. Tired of having 5 cars to wash, 5 cars to change oil on, all that stuff. I'm gonna get some new hubcaps for the front. Got a little dents here and there on it. That's the old badge, looks like crap, so I gotta take that off there today. Put new marker lights, new third brake light. This toolbox, I want a toolbox on this truck, but this thing doesn't fit very good. And if I'm to keep this truck long term, I might just put get some new bed rails and then put one of the ones that go inside, not on top. It sits a little lower, you know. I don't know. I kind of like the look of a toolbox on a truck, but you know, I could put a cap on this or something, because I mean, a lot of what I haul is drills, things like that. It's got little dents here and there. Nothing that I can't fix. Put new taillights on it. That exhaust tip is stupid. Does not belong on this truck, so. But all in all, it's a pretty solid truck. It's got 193,000 miles on the body. Supposedly has a new transmission. This is what concerns me about that noise. So these are brand new, like really deep tread tires. These are bald tires on the inside, and I'm hearing the noise coming from somewhere in here, and it's either gonna be the hub, could be like the carrier bearing maybe going out. I don't think it's the carrier bearing. I think it's the hub bearing, or it's gonna be one of the tires. And this tire I drove for like 30 miles, and I didn't know it was flat off the rim. When I bought the truck, I drove it home and had no idea that this tire was flat. The guy said he had filled all the tires up, and he probably did. It probably just popped off the bead. But this tire, I'd say it's probably cooked, and the belts have probably torn. So it's good to replace them anyways. I put new front tires on there, like the cheapest pieces of crap I could find just to get me through the Hawk 2 edition. So with the cheapest Hawk 2 edition tires I could find, they were like 140 bucks a piece, and they're crap. So I'm gonna put some like Defenders on the truck when I have the money. I don't have the money, but for right now it gets me around. Just trying to get this place finished up. I'm a landscaper. Most of this is just leftover material from jobs. You know, I might order a little more than I need, but and I'm just trying to get this finished up, because I'm probably gonna sell, just so I can move out of here, go somewhere quieter. But this has just been, the house has mostly been a project of my own. I mean, I've done most of this work myself. I did the front porch, I did the awning, I built the garage myself. Stuff like the garage door, obviously I couldn't build, but like this back door was it was just a plain white metal door, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I replaced all that crap up there as it caught fire. You see all the burn. Yeah, smart people. You can see all the discoloration from the melted lithium or whatever it was that was leaking out of the, because I had the battery packs on the wall right here, but the fire started over there. So anyway, so this door, this is just a white aluminum door, and this one was too, but I used a gel stain and a stamp tool to wood grain it, and I fucked up a few spots, man. It's like too dark right there, and you know, you see some dark spots. I mean, it kind of makes it look like the old weathered cedar. I guess I didn't want that look. I wanted this look right here, and you know, for a first timer, I don't think I did too bad, but I just like doing stuff like that. Kind of never liked carpentry growing up, but as I get older, it's just something I enjoy doing in my free time. It's like those front porch columns, and I'll show you, they're as fancy as they look. And someone's burning like paper or something out here. It's terrible. As fancy as these look, this was all leftover scrap material from fencing. These posts were like 60 bucks. I had to buy those. But all this I did myself. And this was just leftover from cap and trim fence that I built. I built this awning. And I did not build these stairs, and I wish I'd had. This guy was so drunk. And he kept thinking I was going to call ICE on him, which, like, he literally was, like, paranoid about it. And I was like, dude, I just want these stairs done. You see how crooked they are? And it's supposed to be 3 stairs, but by noon every day, he was pretty wasted. So I just let him finish. I paid him what he wanted. I think I got ripped off a little bit. It was like, he charged me like $4,000. And, like, I could have, like, I've worked pavers and done a lot of retaining wall stuff, and I worked with other masons, and I used to, like, work with masons, like, do something like that for like $2,500. It's like a 4x8 porch, and you know, I had all the stuff to fill it in, like all the concrete. Like, I provided a lot of the stuff myself, but as I said, like, you get what you pay for, and I was looking for cheap, and that guy drug that job out for like a month and a half and just kept adding money to it. And better just sometimes to pay somebody to get them to leave, man. But whatever. But yeah, no, I do a lot of cheap stuff, man. That door cost me like $30 to do. The columns, this house was a rundown hoarder's house. Like, you could see through the roof. I mean, we filled like 740 cubic yard dumpsters of just garbage. The person was like shitting in trash bags and stuff. It was pretty gross. So I've just, for 5 years now, whenever I have extra money, I put it into this. But anyway, it's just a passion of mine. And then when I'm done with this, I'll find something else to work on. So this thing's kind of running rough. I'm hoping it's just the water on the coils. I don't think the thermostat's open yet, but I hear something. Sounds like the thermostat. Oh no, I'm hearing a spark plug tick over there. I'm hoping I'm not about to yeet another spark plug out. But now I feel water in here, and the real test, now that I feel the thermostat's definitely open, I'm gonna squeeze this hose. Try to get up here, squeeze this hose. Bear with me. Try to put it right here. Yeah, squeeze the hose, give it some gas. Yeah. There's actually fluid in there now. Previously that hose was empty, and it was so hot it would burn your hand, and that's even after running for 5 minutes. It was just, so I think we're off to a good start here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for an old beater truck. These coils, they wanted like $80 a piece for the coils. I found these on Amazon. They're KSU coils. They were $55 for 8 of them. So I'm like, if they don't work, $50 wasted. But if they do work, then it's like, I don't know, $600 saved. So I found that I wouldn't probably go through the trouble of doing injectors like on an old Bronco, because you got to pull the whole manifold off. But if it's easy to get to, and you can find a cheap ass part for 10%, 5% of what it costs for OEM, and you want to see if it works, spend the money. Because it's like, if those coils didn't work, Amazon would have returned them. And I've had those on there for 6 years now. I think I did all right. It's about time to get a new a set of coils on it though, because it definitely picked up some little misfires in the morning, stuff like that. I think the battery's not far out. This one, what's the date on it? 5/22, so it's like 4 years old almost. So starting to do some weak starts. I drive it a lot, so either the alternator's going or the battery's going. I'll clean up all the grounds and stuff. I had some fucking dick I had working for me, like, telling me this, like, oh my gosh. So I had somebody who was a little nutty that I hired. He didn't stay with us long. Like, he worked with us for like a month. But he sabotaged a lot of my stuff. And this, like, take a look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 contact points. And this used to sit here. First of all, when this thing's properly installed, you can't get your fingers behind it. And these things are they're not dry rotted at all. They're still very strong, they're flexible. So somebody, I know who it was, took this right here out of the door. This was just to borrow it for a day truck. Took this out of the door. And you can even see the pry marks where this jackass decided to pry it off of my door. And then they set it back up on the door like this. And it will pop back into place temporarily. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but either way, they got it like that. So when the other guy went to open the door, it just fell out. So no one knew what happened. And then this light was shattered that same day, and cigarette burns in my seats. That's why I have seat covers now. You know, so I should have listened. My friend, he owns a lawn care company. He called me and he's like, hey man, I heard so-and-so's working for you. And you might want to keep an eye on this person. And it's kind of hard to tell sometimes when you work with people. You know, they might smile on your face and stab in your back. So stuff happens. But I'm gonna get off here and go eat my breakfast. Oh, check the temp on the truck. Smart idea. Oh yeah, she's sitting good. Everything's sitting pretty good. So it's got 212,000 miles. Check engine lights, definitely from it overheating, so. Yeah, she's running good. Surprisingly, for the amount of antifreeze that I just got down in those coil packs, it might not run good later though. But anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm gonna go throw something on the smoker before it gets too much later. I'm gonna be out here at midnight tending to a brisket. So y'all have a good one. I'm out of here.